Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Nerds in a Podcast. Today we have a guest joined with us, my friend Lauren.
Woo,
Woo!
welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the madness.
Yeah. Today we're continuing the long list that is our Disney slash Universal rides and movies series. And because we got Lauren on, and she is, at least to my knowledge, the one of the biggest Little Mermaid fans that I personally know, I would say we're equal in Little Mermaid excitedness. So I thought we'd talk Little Mermaid today. Lauren is also a Disneyland pass holder. So she goes to Disneyland all the time. She's like constantly there. So welcome, Lauren. We're very excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I am very excited.
Oh my gosh, I'm still like half asleep.
Oh,
I
oh.
fell asleep before we recorded this episode. I just got done with inventory at my job, so I'm simultaneously like sugared out because I had a lot of cookies today, and also very tired. Um, so I guess we'll start with thoughts about the ride in the park because, as far as I know, we are the only California Adventure is the only park that has a Little Mermaid ride.
I
Really?
think
I believe so. I don't think anybody else has it. I think everybody else has like Little Mermaid stuff.
you know what? Now that I think about it, I think Disney World at Magic Kingdom has the Little Mermaid ride, like the exact one. But that's all I
Ah, it does not help that I typed in the Little Maid ride instead of the Little Mermaid ride.
Little Mermaid, what is it called? Ariel's Undersea Adventure. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, oh yeah, it's in Fantasyland at Walt Disney World,
Oh, okay.
which is
Ah.
interesting. I think we talked about this when we had Darby on the podcast the last time we talked about Disney, and that there's very few rides that Disney World has in their park that is also in like our park, and the Little Mermaid was one where the placement was always different.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because like to me, when you say the Little Mermaid, I expect it to be with all the other Disney princess stuff in Fantasyland, but that would literally be physically impossible
Yeah. It would be,
in
it's already hard to walk through Fantasyland as
oh my
is.
gosh. Yeah. I can't imagine if they try to add one more thing inside Fantasyland.
No. Be way too crammed.
Mhm. The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite rides in California Adventure. The only thing I don't like is I always get yelled at when I try to walk on with my coffee, and they're like, "You have to drink that before you get on." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." But yes, so Little Mermaid is one of my favorite rides in California Adventure. I don't know, it's just so much fun. And it's also always nice and cold in there, so when it's hot outside,
Mm-hmm.
it's the perfect ride to get on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like just a chill, it's like, it's like going on Winnie the Pooh, you just chill out for a little bit
Yeah.
and just
Yes.
look at all this stuff. I will say, okay, because I'm looking up stuff about this ride. It came out in
Mhm.
2011. I
Yeah.
do wish that they would like revamp like at least the animatronics
Mhm.
because I feel like they are like a little outdated, especially like compared to some of other Disney's like animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I spiral down rabbit holes of like, especially on TikTok, where I look up like like Disney animatronics. I've been like on this whole rabbit hole about like the what is it, the Avatar animatronic at Disney World.
Oh,
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
but I will that is one thing I will say is that I wish it would like yeah, Pip agrees. I
Yeah.
wish that they would
Pip's like,
revamp,
revamp those.
do like an update on it, something. But I do like the
Hmm.
ride, but I wish they would just like update it a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel I love that ride. It's my favorite Disney movie. It's
Hmm.
very nice and calming when you get to go on it, but I feel they should somehow update it in a way. It just goes from song to song to song, and there's no like backstory. It just goes from like Under the Sea to Poor Unfortunate Souls to Kiss the Girl to okay, they're married now.
It's like, okay, they're married. Then
The end.
get out. Yeah, they don't have like I feel like you have to know what the story of the Little Mermaid is and you just automatically fill those things in. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a girl in your life or it's just something that you guys have never paid attention to, then yeah, you can feel a bit lost in there.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of the Disney in Japan,
Oh my god, the
like
Disney
the
in Japan's are
Tangled
crazy.
Oh
animatronics and
my
the
Holy
god.
Frozen.
guacamole.
Yes.
If they did something like that with the Little Mermaid, oh
I
man,
would never get off that ride. I would just
yeah.
go for that ride.
I'd be like, we can just stay on this one. This one is fine.
Keep it
Just
going, keep it going.
constantly round and round and round. Yeah, I would do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the animatronics in Japan are crazy. Also, like I said it earlier, but like, so in Disney World, they have like the Avatar ride, and they had like a $10 million animatronic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've spiraled down this rabbit hole way too much. That breaks all the time because it's like so lifelike. Half the
Oh.
time, they just have a screen put up
Yeah.
instead of the animatronic, and I'm like, that's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
Animatronics are also terrifying too. Like seeing them being built, it's And have you ever
Oh
seen
yeah, with
the
no
the
skin.
Mm-hmm.
one there's like a video on, I think Pip also agrees. There's like a video and it is on the Little Mermaid ride and like Ursula's like head falls off. She like
Oh,
malfunctions and her like head
I've
falls
seen
off.
that. It's so scary.
It's terrifying.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh my god, if I saw that I would cry.
Yeah.
But Pip,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Pip is our honorary fourth guest on this
Yeah.
podcast today.
With his 2 cents over there.
But I feel like if we had like the super amazing animatronics in Disneyland and California Adventure, I feel like they would be broken half the time because literally there's so many tourists and so many guests at Disneyland and California Adventure all the time that they would just like constantly be breaking. There'd be like no
Yeah.
rest for the animatronic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
they would cost a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they don't need to put a $10 million animatronic in because that's insane. I don't know why how like we know it's not real.
Yeah.
Um I don't know how lifelike we need to make them. But if they just like updated like Ariel a little bit, and just kind
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
like did a little update to the ride, I think it'd be really cool. They update all these other rides, like update the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I always think it's funny when like the little scene where she's like got her hair is supposed to be like floating above
Yes.
her. I love when it's not working and it's like floated like it's just like in a chunk down by her shoulders and it just
So
doesn't look
weird.
right. Like something like that could probably use a nice little update to give her some more
Mm-hmm.
realistic floating hair instead of just one giant piece of plastic attached probably by a string.
Yeah, definitely.
But I remember I'm gonna sound real old real quick because 2011 was the year before that was my junior year of high school. So I do remember going to Disney my senior year and getting on this ride for the first time. And I love all of the little details they have in the building where you wait in line for. Like all
Hmm.
the dingle hoppers that are everywhere, the really cool like seaweed chandeliers and all the
Mm-hmm.
pearls that are all over the place. Like I remember the first time we went in and I looked at my dad and I was like, this is what I want the interior of my house to look like in the future. It's just this sea castle that we're in currently. So I love Disney for that, for putting tiny little things and details just to the cue for the line.
Yeah, that's one thing
Mm-hmm.
Disney is good at is the details. And like I feel like every time you walk through like any queue, There's like
Yeah.
always new shit to look at, and you're like,
There's
wow,
something, yeah.
wow, Disney.
Yeah, I'm glad they also put like where the Little Mermaid is in California Adventure. I don't even remember if there was anything there before. Like I feel like it was just like random space. So I'm glad they've kind of
Mhm.
started to fill in California Adventure because it always
Mhm.
seemed
Oh yeah.
really spread out and really sparse.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything there? I don't think there was.
I want to say no. I feel like it was literally just probably landscape. Let me
Maybe.
see.
Are we all looking it up?
Yeah, we're all googling currently. Yeah, I don't think
Says
they're.
it says something about little scenery called Golden Dreams.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what that was though.
What
I
is Golden
do
Dream?
remember a while ago before they took it out, um, Ariel's Grotto, the restaurant.
Oh
Oh,
It
yeah,
mhm.
made me so happy to go to when I was younger.
yeah. That whole Paradise Pier, honestly, even before they started like revamping and stuff, was always super pretty.
Mhm.
And they always had like it was a very again California Adventure is such a different experience compared to Disneyland. I feel like Disneyland is
Mhm.
very all the families and the small children and lots of people, whereas California Adventure was always kind of a more like relaxed version of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, more like not I mean not necessarily adult, but
It was more like if you had small children, they would be bored situation versus like just like I
yeah.
mean it's still family friendly. It just wasn't as colorful and like attention seeking as like
Mhm.
Disneyland.
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
do like I will say I like that California Adventure now. They've like have a lot more like Disney related
Hmm.
stuff. And they're like I think it'd be cool if California Adventures did like a Tangled ride.
Yes.
I would
Oh my
love that.
god.
Like that'd be sick because they're like putting all the, like California Adventure used to be like not a lot of Disney
Mhm.
No, it
stuff.
literally
I
was
think there
a
was like,
California theme park.
yeah, a California theme park. And then they slowly were like, okay, we'll put some Disney in there, I
Yeah, they're like,
guess.
oh yeah, we own this park. We should probably like put some more stuff in it. Although to be fair, a lot of the stuff they had, even though it was California themed, they did have some like Disney slash California themed things, like Goofy's Flight School was Goofy's Flight School, but it was also based on like all the streets in California and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I just thought it was funny because I feel like when they first opened California Adventure, they were like, you know, it'd be great a California themed theme park. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, except you're doing it in California, so that's a little weird.
Do we really need that?
Yeah,
Or like I can just go see all this
down
stuff
the
like
street. Like,
on,
Yeah.
yeah,
People can live
like,
with this, not go through all of it in a park and pay for it.
yeah. And it's like, it's not like Anaheim was like way outside of LA or anything.
No.
It's like really just next to it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hop, skip, and a
Yeah.
jump away. Yeah, they've come a long way. They've come a long
Yeah.
way for
But
sure.
honestly, that Pacific Pier would be like the perfect setting for a Tangled ride. With the
Yes.
Right?
water.
Like just put all that like it'd be beautiful.
Yeah. I love Tangled. I love that movie. It's so good.
Yes.
I oh my gosh, I still want to go on the Princess Tiana ride.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Lauren, you've been on, right?
I have, and it's amazing.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. It looks so good.
It's amazing. The music is amazing. The theme, the animatronics are wow. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's one of those rides that has the newest animatronics on it.
Mhm.
So definitely cool to see.
It
Mhm.
looks beautiful.
I am not so thrilled that it's still a Splash Mountain because you get very, very wet.
Oh, yes.
When you get those
Yeah,
ponchos.
no kidding. And
Yes.
then I'll have to invest in some freaking Crocs because that's the one thing I hate is wet shoes.
Mhm. Wet shoes are not fun, and wet socks too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you better rock with the Crocs, baby.
Ugh,
Heck
I
yeah.
hate Crocs so much. And I found out Pedro's a Croc person, and I was like, no.
Now you have to
Pedro.
wear
I
Crocs.
know. Ugh, I don't want to.
Hey, they're not bad,
No, they're
okay?
just really ugly.
But you can accessorize. So,
Although to be fair, somebody one of these like well, I don't know, I guess we can still say TikToker because TikTok is it was gone and now it's back.
So
Um
weird.
we were just in
yeah.
timeout. It's fine.
Like you can't have TikTok for 2 days. Okay. But she like shops at Disneyland all the time, and she did show that they have Lizzie McGuire bright orange platform Crocs.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm
What?
like, "Oh, I might need those."
Those are the only
Because
Crocs you will own.
yeah, like, literally, I'm like, "Oh, man." They're like $80 though, and I'm like, "Bruh, I can buy some
Period.
new Vans with that
Holy
money,
moly.
Yeah.
or Converse, or
Yeah,
I
that's
Mhm.
yeah,
crazy.
anything else. I could buy literally anything else."
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I googled the Walt Disney World, Little Mermaid ride, like, entrance, and I love they have Prince Eric's castle.
Aw.
I'm like, "That's not fair.
It
That's so
looks so much
cool."
Oh,
better
at Disney
there.
World?
Yeah, Google it real quick.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember going there for my high school graduation, and I went on that ride, and I found it right away because I saw Prince Eric's castle, and I was like, "Why don't we have that at California Adventure? Why do
I
they have to be better
know.
at everything?" Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess also they have, like, the space to do
that's
that,
true. They do have the space because they have multiple
Oh, that's
parks.
cool. Yeah, that is cool.
but, like, I love that it's his castle, and they've got, like, a shipwreck with Ariel on the front.
Mhm.
So magical. It's very
So wait, is it the same ride on the inside?
yes, I believe
Like the
so,
exact same? Oh, okay. Okay.
but they're it's just like, oh my gosh, who has a better oh, the Haunted Mansion has a different exterior in Walt Disney World too.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I'm like, that's so cool. It's I love when like include the different castles in the park because every castle is so different and so cool. And
Mhm.
Prince Eric for one is like my favorite Disney prince. But two, I really love the style of his castle as well. So that's so cool
Yes.
that they were like, yeah, we'll just put that on the outside.
Mhm. Prince Eric is also my
Oh, I
favorite
need to go to
prince
Disney
as
World.
well.
It's funny, I can't remember who I told that to somebody one time, and they were like, "He's so boring," and I'm like, "No,
Oh,
he's not."
not boring at all.
You take that back.
Heck,
He's just a sweet man who
yeah.
jump into the ocean for the love of his life.
Mhm.
And then it's funny because he's one of the very few Disney princes, in my opinion, that in like he only gets better with every movie that comes out. So
Mhm.
like in the sequel, he's like a 10 out of 10 dad. Like he would die for his mermaid daughter and his mermaid wife. And I'm like, God, I love you so much.
I just want to be a mermaid
Yeah.
and someone die
Yes,
for
I
me.
want to be a mermaid.
I think that was my number one childhood dream was to somehow
Yes.
figure out how to be a mermaid.
Mhm.
To be a mermaid.
Like if I could be a mythical creature, it'd be a
Be a
mermaid.
mermaid. I always
Slow
wanted some.
closely followed by vampire. Two ends of the spectrum
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Ah, yeah. I would love to be a vampire. Or a cat. A house cat would be my other
Yeah,
option.
you were definitely a house cat in another life, that's for sure.
Yeah. I want to be a house cat.
Just lay in the sun, terrorize your
Ooh.
owner,
Yeah.
eat snacks.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the new movie, Casey? I know Lauren has.
I have
See,
not. I do need to see
I
it.
haven't either. Lauren, did you like the new movie?
Yes, it was really good.
When did it come out? Last year?
Was it last year or was it 2 years ago?
It was
I
2 years?
don't even
Oh
know
my
anymore.
gosh, yeah.
2020 was 5 years ago, and it still is like hurting my head to think
It
about
hurts my
that.
head thinking we're
That
in
that was half a
2025.
decade ago.
Yeah. You want to hear something wild?
Yes.
Yeah,
My little brother's going to be 25 this year.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. That is
So it was,
crazy.
yeah, it was 2 years ago. It was 2023 when the newest Little
Oh,
Mermaid
okay.
Oh
came
my,
out.
that is crazy. Oh my goodness. But it that movie was amazing. Halle Bailey, Ariel, she did amazing, very good acting. She's beautiful. Um, they made Scuttle and Sebastian look really cool. Flounder, on the other hand, I felt looked a little strange, but it
Because
was
they made him
cute.
look like a real flounder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They didn't make him chubby like in the movies, but it was still so cute. And Prince Eric's new song, oh my gosh,
See, that's what
it
I'm
is
excited for.
amazing. A
Hmm.
lot of people did not like it, but I thought it was amazing because he was so cute as it.
Ew. I just looked up the
A
picture of
flounder.
him. I don't like him at all.
He's literally a
He
pancake. He's
scares
so
me.
flat.
He is so flat. Oh my god. I hate it. I don't like him at all. Get rid of that. Get that off
You're
my
like, sorry,
screen.
flounder. It's a no for me.
No, like the way he's like looking at me, I just I don't like that.
It's like he knows your secrets. And you're like, why? Why?
It looks like he literally does. And I'm like, get out of my brain.
I think it's funny that they made him so small. Like I feel like they should have like kept like the original like ratio that Ariel on him had because I mean it's fake. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Right, like we all know
Yeah.
this isn't real. You're not fooling anybody here, Disney.
I mean, I guess at least they didn't go with the like super realistic flounder because I don't know if y'all have ever seen an actual flounder
No,
fish.
oh
They're
gosh.
really ugly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know where the original animators got a yellow and blue
Little,
striped
yeah.
chubby fish, but it's not what a flounder in real life has both eyes on the same side of its body. So
What?
yeah, they're like a flat pancake fish where both eyes are on one side because they just like they literally flounder around the bottom of the ocean.
Ew! I just looked it up. That is so ugly. Oh, I hate it. What the
Oh.
Scary.
heck?
Yeah. So good thing they didn't
Oh
do
my
that.
god.
I think they try.
Ew.
I feel like they tried to do that in the beginning, and then it got leaked somehow. And I feel like the internet bullied them a little bit into making it like at
Yeah.
least resemble Flounder in the
Mhm.
animated film.
Yeah. I'm glad
Ugh.
they still
They
kept
just keep
it.
it like fully ana
Atomic,
you
yeah,
know what I mean. Anatomically
yeah.
correct. Ew. Oh my god, I hate that thing.
Oh, poor Flounder. I love Flounder. He's so cute.
He's so cute. He's a little guppy.
Yeah. Now, have either of you ever watched the play or the
Yes.
musical?
There's a
Yes.
play. I didn't know that. No, I have not.
So I know the only reason I had seen it because somebody uploaded the whole thing to YouTube and I
Oh
watched it.
gosh. I mean, it's free, so nice.
Yeah, and like because I think I had come across the soundtrack at one point, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cute," but I wanted to see like what went with it. And the one thing that always amazes me about the stage play is because they're basically on Heelys. Anytime they're
Mhm.
mermaids or fish, they're on Heelys.
Oh,
Like they're just
what?
yeah, it's really neat. They're like cruising around and like that's how they get that
Mhm.
kind of like swimming effect. And I'm like, oh, 10 out of 10. And the little
Yes.
kids who always play Flounder are so cute.
Yes.
And I like in the musical Flounder has a lot more songs.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so
I have
cute.
to.
Just the way it looks,
I'll have
the
to look it up on
way
YouTube. I feel like. I mean, I'll have to see the movie. I just can't get over this The fish.
You're like, Flounder, I
I don't
can't.
know. Like, I feel like some stuff, like live action, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But like the live action Stitch they're gonna do,
Oh,
I'm very excited for it.
see, I'm not. But I'm also not a big
Really?
I'm not a big Stitch person anyways. But I feel like out of all the things to make live action, Stitch probably shouldn't been it.
Mm-mm. It looks cute, but scary at the same time.
Oh
Bless
my
you.
gosh. Oh, I'm okay. Everything's fine.
But yeah,
Ugh.
I mean, at least he does look cute and they kept him like the same size as he was in the cartoon. I
Mhm.
just I'm interested to see how it looks throughout the movie. Also, Stitch is one of those movies that has a lot of aliens happening, like all kinds of aliens.
Mhm.
And it has the possibility to be really good. Like if they do what they did for some of the Star Wars alien characters, then they'll be really good. Or it
Mhm.
can, if they decide to go the entirely CGI route, like the Jungle Book and stuff like that, I go,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, Disney's really hit or miss with their live actions, I feel
Mhm.
like.
Yeah, but also I was kind of surprised that Stitch got a remake. I wonder if it's gonna have as much Elvis music as it did in the cartoon, because that's a lot of licensing fees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if they're gonna skimp out on something, it might be that, and that's honestly the truly the only part of Stitch that I like is the fact that there's so much Elvis music in it. So we'll have to see. But that comes out, is that this year or next year?
Think this year.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think it's this year.
For the
I don't know. I don't even know what
it
day
just
it
like
is,
magically
what year
appears
it
and you're
is.
like, oh look.
It's finally here.
There it is. Perfect.
Although it's got to be soon because the amount of Stitch stuff everywhere is insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I just don't like that the side eye that like Flounder's giving me in this picture.
Like
I
Flounder.
just really don't like it. It's like just why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, it comes out in May.
Oh wow.
Like I will give it to them that like Stitch and all the posters and stuff looks like you could pet him. Like he looks like I want a dog, like a dog that you
Mhm.
could pet. You know,
Mhm.
like that's realistic. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm skeptical.
I want to pet
I
him.
do too.
Him's a cute dog.
Yeah, and I will say he actually really does look very dog esque, which I love because I feel like that'll give more into the illusion that people are like, when Leela goes, I want this dog, and her sister's like, okay. Like at least he kind of does look. He's just like a blue dog.
Yeah, with
Mhm.
real tall ears.
Mm-hmm. He kind of looks like is it a Loth cat from Star Wars? From
Yes.
yeah, they have the kind of like same shape.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get advertisements for all these movies.
Yeah.
People's gonna be like, "Oh, you googled them." I did.
Is the Little Mermaid on Disney Plus?
It should be.
Yes, it is.
I was about to say, I feel like that was one of those movies that almost like immediately went to
It
streaming service.
mhm. It went really fast. It was still in theaters when it went on to
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was a lot of because, Ariel's a black girl and blah 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 and yada yada. I
Mhm.
just with their I feel like with their live actions, they're doing a lot of them all at once and they're starting with the most popular ones, which I feel like they should have like Uno reversed it and done it with the really like least popular ones
Mhm.
because like yeah, I don't know. I also feel like they should have just left the princesses alone in general. Like just don't do live actions of those because
Mhm.
we had shows like Once Upon a Time where we
Oh
got to see a
yeah.
lot of them,
Mhm.
in person, like in live action. So I feel like it's just kind of they're trying to erase Once Upon a Time and then be like, no, but look at this one. It's like,
Mhm. Cinderella was the first live action, and I thought they did
Mm-hmm.
a really good job with that one. Her blue dress with the little butterflies and
Oh,
the
stunning.
transformation was amazing.
Yeah, I will give them that the costuming in a lot of these live action
Am-
ones is top
Amazing.
tier.
Mm-hmm.
So stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It's marvelous.
Yeah, I think the only like live action version, and I guess I don't know, she's not technically a princess, but I feel like she always gets grouped in, is the Alice in Wonderland movies.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the live action of those, but I feel like they have such a different tone to the
Mm-hmm.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it like justifies it being a live action. It was also one of those things that we finally had the technology to do stuff like that, like to do the
Mm-hmm.
Cheshire Cat and to do the Queen of Hearts with her big
With the
fat
big
head
ass
and
head.
and also they had just a phenomenal cast.
I
Like
always
they
forget
picked
about that. I always
yeah.
forget about Alice in Wonderland just in general. I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
always
Yeah.
forget like the
You had a
ride is
phase.
there, and there's the live action.
Yeah, Casey had a phase when we were in high school where she talked about Alice in Wonderland a lot.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did like Alice in Wonderland a lot,
Yeah. And then she gave me a lot of Alice in Wonderland items as well.
and my
Mm-hmm.
mother too. My mother liked
Yes.
Alice in Wonderland. We both
Yes,
did.
you're yeah, yeah. But yeah, I always forget about the ride too because again, it's tucked in Fantasyland and I normally avoid Fantasyland.
Yeah, and it's like in the corner, like in such a weird spot.
Yeah. And the
Mm-hmm.
line is always huge. Always.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It's like such a small queue line.
Yeah,
And
so everyone's always in the middle of the road.
yeah, seriously. That's for a lot of the rides too. Like it's so packed over there. It's hard to even like go around.
And there's so many children. So
So many
many. Just
children
running. Just running everywhere.
and
Mhm.
strollers. Ugh.
Oh my god, the stroller parking in Fantasyland is awful.
Strollers.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's worse than the regular parking lot. Like,
Oh
ugh.
my gosh.
You know what? One ride I wish they would refurbish and revamp is Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because one, it's crusty and dusty. It needs it. But also, I feel like there's so much possibility with the way technology is now.
Mhm.
But also just how amazing the artists of Disney are that they could really do like a lot to kind of bring it
But
back to
then can you
life.
imagine the line for that freaking ride if they
Uh,
revamped it? Like it's already
Yeah,
up there.
that line
yeah.
is
That
always
line would
so
be
long.
insane.
But
No.
maybe with because the one thing, my one qualm with Peter Pan is like if you do stand in that line, the ride itself moves really slow. Like it's a slow
Mhm.
ride, which I
Yes.
understand you have small children and that's probably why you want it to be slow, but I feel like it could be a little faster and then maybe just move the line a little faster.
Mhm.
But they would
Yeah.
have to keep the flying ships. Like that's the one
Oh,
piece that
absolutely.
they can't change. But
That's what makes
like
it iconic.
yeah, but I feel like the miniatures that you fly over and stuff, they could add some special effects in there. Or even just revamp the practical effects that they have.
Mhm.
Hmm. I agree. I haven't been on that ride in forever, mostly because every time I walk by it, the line is insane, and I'm not standing in
Yeah, it's like
line
a
with
2 hour
9,000 children.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a fully covered line either, so if the sun
Mhm.
is out, you are gonna get fried.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd rather
It's
go to
not worth
Toontown and
it.
do the Runaway Railway.
Mickey's Runaway
Oh,
Railway. That ride breaks down a lot, which makes me sad. Not as much
Yeah.
as Rise of the
I was just
Resistance.
gonna say, Rise breaks down the most out of any ride we know.
Yeah.
Rise and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I'm always surprised that indie breaks so much because I mean I know they have like the newer
Mhm.
FX stuff in there, but like it just seems like a ride that really shouldn't break down that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think, but
I have been
alas.
on it once. It didn't break down, but it was weird because we stopped in like the right in front of the end where the skeletons are like shooting at you with the wind and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And we were just sitting there and we could just hear the skeletons and we're like, oh, it's very creepy. And then all of a sudden we just get like booted out there, like getting hit with the skeletons, all that. Then we stop again in front of the boulder, and then the boulder comes down a little bit, but then it stops. we're
And
like
you're like, hello?
and
Hello?
then we stop. We're like, what is going on? We finally go down, but the music and nothing was in tune with it because of how off everything was. I was like,
Yeah.
that was a unique experience.
That's the one thing when like when you're on like mid ride and the rides start breaking down is everything is very out
Mm-hmm.
of sync very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like my favorite is being at Universal on the Journey to Hogwarts ride, and I always get stuck at the part where the like you're supposed to be watching a screen. My
Mm-hmm.
favorite is still like when you're in the Quidditch pitch and all you hear is Harry and Ron's breathing going and you're like, oh
Yes.
no. Oh gosh. There's a TikTok floating around of Rise of the Resistance where Kylo Ren is like broken and he's just like
He's
spinning like a
spinning.
ballerina.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Sometimes
and I'm like,
malfunctions are pretty funny though. I'm like, what the heck?
yeah. Yeah, sometimes they're terrifying and sometimes they're hilarious. But I
Yes.
love when people catch them on camera. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, we are at our usual time. Does anybody have anything else to add before I wrap up the episode?
Now I want to go to Disney. Every time we do an episode like this, I just want to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And you guys get to, and I don't.
I mean, you're only 4 hours away, 4.5 hours away.
That's true.
um, but yes. Okay, well, then I think that does it for this week's episode. Thank you, Lauren, for joining us for this episode. It was very nice to have you on here. Um, don't forget to subscribe to wherever you're listening to the podcast. Give us a thumbs up. Follow us on all the socials for future episodes and future notifications. I think you can still follow us on TikTok because for the foreseeable future we have it.
Yeah,
And we
for
will
now at
see.
least.
Yeah, we'll find out what's gonna happen to it, but I highly doubt they're gonna take it away. Maybe they'll bring back Vine instead.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Vine. Good old Vine.
But that does it. We will see you guys in the next episodes. Bye.